On March 6, 1981, in a nearly empty courtroom in Lübeck, Germany, Marianne Bachmeier faced Klaus Grabowski, the man who had haunted her nightmares. She pulled out a smuggled Beretta model 1934 and shot him 8 times in the back, killing him. Grabowski had murdered her daughter a year earlier, and Marianne, in her grief and anger, decided to take justice into her own hands. Marianne's early life was full of hardship. Her father, an abusive alcoholic and former SS member, eventually left, but her mother remarried another abusive relative. Marianne, a free-spirited girl, clashed with her strict family. At 16, she gave birth but had to give her child up for adoption. At 18, she became pregnant again by her boyfriend. Marianne initially thought about keeping her second child but, after a traumatic experience, decided to give him up for adoption as well. She later dropped out of school and began working as a waitress at Tipasa, where she had an unstable relationship with the owner, Christian Berthold. Marianne became pregnant with Christian's child and decided to raise her daughter, Anna, on her own when he refused to commit. Although Marianne was loving, she struggled to care for Anna, often bringing her to the bar or leaving her alone. On May 5, 1980, after an argument, Anna skipped school and wandered around town but never returned home. When Marianne came back later that day, Anna was gone. By nightfall, Marianne reported Anna missing. The next day, a woman told the police that her fiancé, Klaus Grabowski, had confessed to killing the girl, who sometimes came over to play with their cats. Anna's body was found at Grabowski's house, and police arrested him when he arrived at a bar that night. Grabowski had a troubling past. In 1973, he assaulted a 6-year-old girl and, in 1975, was charged with sexually abusing 2 more girls. Diagnosed with abnormal sexual instincts, he underwent chemical castration in exchange for release from a mental health facility, but later reversed the procedure to start a family. At the time of Anna's murder, his testosterone levels were back to normal. When talking to the police, Galabarowski claimed that he would not touch Anna, claimed that he had killed him after trying to force him, and he gave him money. If not, he would blame him for sexual violence. Grabowski claimed that he had been strangled and killed Anna using the inventory of Anki. When the police informed Marianne of her daughter's murder, she had no response. It was completely devastating. At Anna's funeral a few days later, she played Pink Floyd in the church. The trial began a few months later. At the start of the trial, Marianne was forced to listen to testimony and descriptions of her and Anna's life. It was alleged that Anna practically grew up on the streets, that her mother was a bar waitress who worked late into the night and did not care for her daughter. Marianne was heartbroken and angry. On the second day of the trial, she seemed to mishear a conversation between Grabowski and her lawyer. Marianne expected him to make a statement the next day, but she knew he had already spoken about Anna, so she wasn't going to go along with it. The next day, in a half-empty courtroom outside the public, Marianne shot Grabowski in the back. He died there. This was one of the most famous vigilance cases in Germany. Most of the masses were paid by the donation fund for her name, following a part of the legal expenses during the trial, supporting Marianne's recovery van to her daughter's murderer. The test was widely advertised, and Marianne's face was crushed in all newspapers. The bar, Tipasa, was carefully studied, and all of the life of Marianne and Anna was subject to the declaration of the court. Eventually, she was sentenced to 6 years for her reluctant murder. She was released after 3 years, including a year and a half under observation on suspicion of suicide. Marianne moved to Lagos, Nigeria and married a German teacher. Eventually, they were divorced, spent most of the remaining life helping Sicily's hospice. When she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer at the age of 46, she returned to Lübeck and a friend in the last week of her life before resting next to Anna. Thanks for watching Bad Things. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe and check the notification bell for upcoming videos.